guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am Royale-Ini for those that don't know. So for today's video we're going to be doing a couch conversation, hence why I'm in my living room. So we're gonna do a year 2021 recap, right? Remember in my previous videos, those that watch my previous videos, and if you didn't watch my previous video, stop what you're doing, go and watch my previous video, and you can come back and watch this video. All right, cool. Yeah, so in my previous video I had mentioned that I had a very rough and eventful 2021, so we're going to do a year in recap. All right, so my 2021 started out very well and stuff, because I was going into my last year of university. Yes, I was doing a nursing course, and for y'all that don't do nursing or don't know anything about the medical field, listen, it is rough. It is rough out there. I'm not discrediting any other departments or faculties, but let me tell you, med-sci is no joke. Okay, med-sci is no joke. So I was excited because I was finishing school last year, and then that school business is a whole nother story by itself. But anyway, I was finishing school, so I was very excited. So I knew it would be difficult. I knew the work would have to put in a lot of work and all of that jazzy stuff. So went into last year, feeling good, did a 21-day fast as usual, waiting on the Lord to hear, what the Lord had to say to me pertaining last year. So going down. When it got down to May, let me tell you see, the devil, he does not go fight for anything that does not have purpose. Once you have purpose, the devil is gonna fight you. And that's where my whole trials and tribulations started, in May. So I had my final rotation in May, my final clinical rotation in May, and let me tell you, the week before I was supposed to start my rotation, I got a 2nd-degree burn. Listen, all of a sudden, the water just decided to throw away my legs. I've been washing bathrooms for like every Saturday, But this particular Saturday, I decided to, and then the water decided that, you weren't going to have a peaceful Saturday. So I'm going to, throw away. So it threw away my foot. Oh my gosh, it was the most painful thing I have ever felt in my entire life. It was so painful. It hurt so badly. And listen, water did not make it better, because I had my foot, I was running the pipe on my leg. And while it was running, listen, I was still feeling the pain of it. So, had I burned the Saturday, and I'm starting rotation the Monday. So how am I going to go to rotation with a burnt leg? Can you imagine, And it was not only my top layer, listen, it went down to my tissues. So that 2nd degree, So I was like, how am I going to do this? And I put everything. I put Cinco Bible, that we call it Cinco Bible in Jamaica. It's known as aloe vera. I rub aloe vera till a week. I rubbed aloe vera on my leg. I literally, because the water soothes it, but it doesn't really help the pain a bit, but it soothes it, if you get what I'm saying. So the water was like soothing my leg. So every time I turned off the water, the pain that I was in was so excruciating. So I rubbed Cinco Bible, I rubbed everything. I was fanning my legs. That's how bad it was. I was literally fanning my legs because it was hurting me so badly. Alright, so I never went to any doctor, never went to the hospital or anything. So my mom decided that she was going to, take over and be my nurse and nurse my leg. So she took over, did everything and so on and stuff. And then Monday came and I was supposed to go to clinicals. It wasn't hurting that bad, but listen, the pain was still there. So So got ready, went to clinicals. Started clinicals, my leg was hurting me. In the morning, I would rub aloe vera on it, and then the leg got dark. Water, it get dark. So the leg got dark, and I couldn't walk properly. So even to like go to patients and stuff like that, I could not walk properly. So I was walking and limping. And then persons would be asking me like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with your leg? All of that jazzy stuff. And then I would be like, oh, I got a burn and and then I would show them, and then, yeah. So I decided to show a doctor that was on the ward that I was on, because I was like, I really need something for this, because this Cinco Bible alone, this aloe vera alone is not cutting it. So I showed a doctor who told me that, she was busy at the time, so she said that she would look at it after. So I could not wait, because my leg was like literally hurting me. So I went to the charge nurse that was on the ward. So I showed her my leg and I explained everything to her. Fine, she said okay. She was so sweet, and that's the perks of being a healthcare student or working in the health field. Like, you're taken care of by the healthcare professionals on duty. So that was a perk. So she took me in and she dressed my legs, and she rubbed what kind of ointment on it. I think it was called Silvacans. Yeah, it was called Silvacans. So she rubbed Silvacans on it, and there was this fruit, I don't even remember the name, but she put that mesh thing on my leg. And I know I'm a healthcare worker and I should know, but you know what? Whatever, we don't know everything. So she put the mesh thing on my leg, and she wrapped it up. And I went home, and every day that I went back on the ward, they would remove the dressing that was on it, dress it again, cover it, and that was happening for a couple of days. So I decided to, because the charge nurse told me to make sure I dress it 2 times a day, in the morning and in the evening. So I would get a dressing in the evening at work, but in the morning when I'm going to work, I'd have to dress it at home by myself. So I decided to, okay, when my mom opened it, oh my gosh, guys, the thing was so what I mean, so it's like it had burst open. Like, my leg had literally burst open. Like, you were seeing my tissues and my skin, and it was so excruciating. And my mom literally cried when she saw my leg. She cried. She was so angry that I had gone to let them dress the leg, because she's like, it's a burn, it's supposed to be left out, air is supposed to touch it, and blah. But the person that held it didn't want it to get infected, because hospital have flies and stuff like that. They don't want to pitch it on your leg, and get your leg infected and all of that stuff. So my mom cried, and my mom was like, listen, you're not dressing this thing again, you're going to leave it open. So I left it open until started putting the mesh thing back on it, started dressing it but not covering it. So I was very careful, because they were telling me, because it's open and it's an open wound, you don't want fly to pitch on it and those stuff, so it doesn't get infected. So I was very careful what I did. I was very careful of how I dealt with it, and thank God it took like 2 weeks, and persons were like so shocked that my leg healed in like 2 weeks. People say I have good skin, but I don't think it's good skin, yeah, but then it was only the mercy of God. Like, honestly, it was only God that had taken my leg through that healing process, because it healed like really quickly. And I was so grateful to God, and I never missed a day of clinicals. I never had to do over any hours. I was there present every single day, did my correct hours and everything. So I was so thankful to God that I did not have to miss any day, because persons were saying, you need time, because your legs cannot be, I cannot dress the leg and close it needs to be open. So they're like, oh, you need to take some time off, because you don't want the leg to get infected and everything. But thank God the leg did not get infected and all of that stuff. So my leg healed. I still have a big scar. I have a scar, to show, but it's not really anything big. But I'm just thankful that, I didn't miss anything, and I was able to finish my rotation, and my degree. What? So after that, after the burn, which was like months, but it took 2 weeks, approximately 2 weeks to heal. But now we're getting ready to do our final clinical exam. Listen, I had a growth in my ovary from January 2021, right? It did not do anything to me. It was just there. My gynecologist was monitoring it and everything like that. And because I had PCOS, as they said, so I had to be on birth control for a while and yada yada yada, all that just stuff. So I was placed on birth control, and my speculation was that it was the birth control that was letting the cysts grow really, really fast. So the doctors could not explain to me why it was going really fast, but all they knew was that it had to come out. So because I had school and I had gone through a lot already pertaining school, didn't want to miss clinical, didn't want to miss any day, didn't want to miss my exams, didn't want to sit out even if it's a week, didn't want to even sit out a day. So I pushed and I begged my doctors to please postpone the surgery until after my exam, my clinical exam. So they said fine. So in the midst of going through to do my exam, the growth was really fast. It grew so huge. My uniform stopped fitting me. It was very tight around like the stomach part because it had grown. The cyst had grown so big that whenever I went to work on the ward, people asked me, "Oh, when are you having baby? When are you due? How much months are you?" And I'm just like, I just to play it off and laugh it off because I always tell people I'm not gonna make people any wiser. So whatever you think is whatever you think, So I know in myself that I was not pregnant, but people thought that I was pregnant. Literally thought that I was pregnant. So I had to face that as well, knowing in myself that I'm not pregnant, but I look it because I have a growth going inside of me. So there were perks to it. I'm not gonna lie, there were perks to it because at some point, I think persons went easier on me because they thought that I was pregnant, and they don't want to hurt the baby mother. But anyway, yeah. So I think it had a little perk to it. So, but it wasn't really much. And I think, in my exam, it had a little perk to it because persons thought that I was pregnant. So, yeah. Yeah, man, I'm not gonna shoot it down, because everything that God does, He does it perfect, So there must be a reason why I was like that at that time, and God knew why. So fast forward. So I had a growth going on. I could not breathe. The thing came up so much, like it was literally on top of my stomach. I had digestive issues, acid reflux every single day. Nausea every single day. All of that, and knowing in you that you're not pregnant, but all these symptoms are happening to you. Like it was a battle. I couldn't walk long distances because I would be breathless. My clothes stopped fitting me because my belly was so big. I had to wear big shirts. I stopped going out because I could not hide my stomach anymore because it was that big. It was pressing on top of my chest and it was pressing on top of my diaphragm. Like breathing was a mess. If I walked 2 blocks, 1 block, if I walked from ward to the nurse's station or from a patient to the nurse's station, I'll be out of breath. Yeah, that's how bad it was. So it was going very, very rapid. It was so big, and so they scheduled me for a surgery. So went in to do my surgery. When I went in to do my surgery now, I was very anemic. And I could not understand why I was anemic. Everything was, I just couldn't understand. I was taking supplements, I was taking iron tablets, I was taking all these things. So I could not understand why I was anemic. But I was anemic. My blood count was low, so low going into surgery. And my doctor was like, no, he's not gonna take any chance to operate on me. And then they need blood, they don't have blood, so they were looking for blood, right? Called the blood bank, couldn't find my blood type. So I could not have done the surgery when it was scheduled because they did not want to risk operating on me, and I needed blood and then could not have any. So I went the hunting of asking. Let's call it asking. Let's not say begging. Asking for persons to come and donate blood on my behalf. I called a few friends. My mom called some of her friends, and they got some persons, came to donate some blood. But let me tell you, it was very nerve-wracking because one, it was the first time that I was doing any surgery at all. Two, it was the first time I'm doing anything like that any at all. Three, it was the first time I was in a hospital. I've never been hospitalized before for any reason. So it was the first time I was hospitalized, and it was so scary for me. It was so nerve-wracking. I asked for a lot of prayers, sent out a lot of prayer requests to my friends, my families overseas, here. Everyone was praying, and I thank you guys so much for all your prayers, because this is what had brought me through. I was so anxious the night before I was supposed to go into surgery. I called my aunt. So I called my aunt, and I was on the phone in the morning with her, and she was praying me up, and she added her friend, and they were praying me up, and then she told me that the surgery would not happen. And I was just like, at that time I was just like, I don't think so. I think I want it to happen because I want this thing out of me, because it was becoming uncomfortable. So she said, oh, it's not gonna happen, and they started praying and everything. In the morning, the doctor came to me and said, oh, we're gonna postpone your surgery because we can't find any blood, and we don't want to operate on you unless we have blood. I cried, guys. I cried, because imagine having this thing, like, it was a burden for me, having this thing for like months. Let me tell you, months. I was having it big in my stomach, like months, and I was finally getting rid of it. And then you're gonna come and tell me that, hey, you're not gonna do surgery today because we don't have blood for you. Guys, I cried, but then I was like, God must have a purpose for this, and he must know why this is going to happen at this time. So they sent me home. I went home, still with the thing inside of me, still having challenges walking, having challenges breathing, and all of that. So I was like, Lord, I really need this thing out of me. I'm really uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable to even sit. That's how bad it was. It was uncomfortable to even go to the bathroom. Listen, the thing was so huge that we're gonna skip that part because I don't want to make it TMI, So anyways, like, parts of my body started getting bigger, down that area. Started getting huge for no reason. Started getting huge. So so I prayed, and I was like, God, I really need this thing out of me because I cannot do this anymore, and I really need this to end, like literally end. I was tired. I was literally tired. So they called me back and they said, okay, we have scheduled another appointment for your surgery. We can't find any blood still. I was like, but people came to donate blood on my behalf. How you mean you cannot find blood still? But the persons that are donating blood were not necessarily my blood type. So, they were still out. But then they could have told the blood bank, hey, we have, something to give you so that you can give us her blood type. Anyways, I was sent back to the hospital on a Wednesday, and my surgery was scheduled for Friday. So I went back to the hospital on the Wednesday. This time I was a bit calmer because I had gone through it the first time, so I actually knew. I think my mind was prepared, and I think God used that time to prepare me for the surgery that I was going to do. So went in, and this time I was very confident. This time I wasn't scared, wasn't afraid. I was like, God, this is you. This has to be you. This is in your hands, so you need to just take charge, take full control, do whatever you're gonna do, but you gotta get this thing out of me. So the Friday morning came, they prepped me, and the Friday morning came, and I went and I was whisked away to theater. When I went to theater, I was like to my doctor, do you have the blood? What? He said, no, we don't have blood, but this thing is very big, so we have to get it out of you as soon as possible, ASAP, as soon as possible. So I said, okay, fine. was having this time, like the previous time I told a lot of my friends and a lot of persons had known about it. But the second time around I didn't tell anybody. It was so quick I did not even have the time to tell anybody. So I told less persons, except like persons that were really, really, really my close circle, because I didn't want, you know, the spiritual aspect about it. I didn't want all of that, you know, in the atmosphere and all of that. So I told less persons, but indeed my parents were praying, always praying. My parents are very prayerful people. They have always been praying. They always pray for me. They always keep me. And I think most of the times it's their prayers that's keeping me, honestly. So my parents were praying, so they prayed, and they prayed and everything, and they did the surgery. It was very successful, thank God. It was very successful. The thing that they showed me that came out of me, oh my gosh, it was so huge. It was so big, so huge, so everything, you know. And it was the one that was making me anemic. Listen, this thing was so pink and nice and rosy and round. Listen, this thing was sucking all the blood that I had in my body, so I had to be replaced with iron, you know, to replenish the blood. Thank God I did not lose a lot of blood, so I did not need to be transfused. That was another plus, because that's not what I wanted. So I thank all my prayer partners, thank all the persons that were praying for me. Thank you to the prayer team. Like, y'all are the real MVP. Listen, nothing beats prayer. Nothing beats prayer. Nothing beats prayer. And God can do anything and everything, exceeding abundantly above all that we can ever ask or even think. He can do much more than that. So listen, don't limit God. Don't limit God this year. Don't limit God this year. Anything that you want God to do for you, don't limit Him. Have your mind set on Him, that He is able to do anything, even more than you can even ask of Him to do. So I was grateful to God because I had life. I had life. So I was really grateful to God, because not all the persons that me and them went to surgery at the same time, all of them did not make it. So I was grateful to God, because even when I was in the recovery room, I woke up to them like wrapping a dead body. So I was grateful to God. Sincerely, still am 100% grateful to God, because He brought me through. Listen, I'm sorry guys, but I don't know what my neighbor is doing with his truck. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that was another obstacle. The next obstacle that I had to overcome was that, like, a couple days after my surgery, I had to go and take my picture for my graduation, because I graduated from nursing school. So I graduated from nursing school, and I had to go and take my picture. Listen, I just came out of surgery Friday, and I had to go to take my picture on Monday. That's like 3 days. That's 3 days, boo-boo. 3 days after surgery to go and take my picture. No, it was not. I'm so sorry. No, it was not. It was a week after. It was the other week, Monday, that I had to go in to take my picture. So I had 1 week to recuperate, and then go on to... What is wrong? I had 1 week to go and take my picture. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. So I had 1 week to go and take my picture. So I did that. Thank God that I had bought my clothes before, and I bought my shoes before. So all I had to do was, and just coming out of surgery, I'm recuperating. I can't sit for a very long time. I need to lie down because, it's abdominal. I can't sit for too long. So we're here thinking about hair. We're thinking about makeup. We're thinking about all those justice stuff, because I'm not going to be, not looking all dolled up and glammed up for my picture just because I had a surgery. No. That ain't gonna happen. The Lord would not let that happen. So the Lord would not let that happen. I don't know what my neighbor is doing today, as I want to record my video, my neighbor decides to do something with his truck. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. So as I'm saying, yeah. So I booked my makeup artist and everything, and guys, remember I had to go back for dressings. every Monday, every Friday, I had to go back for dressings because I have to dress the area to make sure that it's not infected and to make sure that it's healing properly and yada yada yada. Make sure that water is not touching it because I could not bathe. Listen, I could not bathe. I had to be wiping myself for about 2 months. The things that we take for granted. The day that I got discharged from dressing, I went home and I bathed, and it felt so good to have water running down your body. Listen, the things that we take for granted, not being able to shower, it was a mess. It was a mess because listen, wiping is not bathing. Wiping keeps you for some time, but then after a while, it doesn't work. So you gotta bathe. The shower is the best. Is the best. Okay. Listen. See, when when the day that I could bathe, I was so grateful to God. I cried. When I was in the shower bathing, I was crying because I was like, oh my gosh, I missed this so much. I missed it so much. Guys, don't take things for granted. The little things that you might think is small for you is actually big for somebody else. Because I was even jealous of the persons that actually could bathe and go in the shower and have a proper shower. I was really jealous because I could not. For 2 months straight, I could not bathe myself properly. I had to be wiping, and my poor mom had to be like bringing water for me every morning, every evening to bathe, to wipe down and everything, and it was a lot. So I went through that, got my picture, did my pictures, got my photo shoot, did everything, glammed up with my dress, and I could not wear heels because could not wear heels, but got a decent shoes and went to my pictures, and yeah, so your girl is a graduate, period. So I did all of that, and I just want to give God thanks, like glory, honor, praise, everything, because he was amazing during my time. Like, listen, y'all heard how rough my year was. My year was very rough, but I came out on the other side with life, and I am so grateful to God for life. Like, that's my biggest, being in the hospital gave me a different aspect and view of life, and doing surgery gave me a different view of life. So I'm really grateful to God for life. Like, for life, I'm really grateful to God. And I just want to encourage anybody who doesn't know the Lord Jesus that you need to have that relationship with him today. Don't let today pass and you don't have a relationship with him, because you don't know what tomorrow might bring. You don't know what you go through tomorrow, and you might not have the opportunity again to give your life to the Lord. Listen, life in Jesus is sweet. Don't let anybody tell you anything otherwise. Life in Jesus is sweet. Only those that have that relationship can tell you that life in Jesus is sweet. People that don't have a relationship can't tell you that life in Jesus is sweet because they don't have the connection between them and God. But once you are in that relationship, thriving relationship with you and God, you know that life in Jesus is sweet. So that is the end of my video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and to tell a friend to like, share, and subscribe, and to watch my videos, because your girl is gonna be consistent as I promised before. So don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let us have a chat. Let's tell me what you want to see more, and I'll be doing that. But anyways, this is the end of my video. So thank you guys so much for all the love, all the support, and for always watching my videos. So until next time on another video, I'm Royale-Ini. Until next time, bye guys.